Hi Leo, gang, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. I'm doing the 2025 wrap-up readings right now. There's a lot of transformative energy in the air, and I want to start. I'm feeling called to start with the Pocket Archetypes deck instead of the tarot, but we'll move on to that later. Let's just see the overall themes. Okay, we have Thanatos. Thanatos, is that not the opposite of libido, like eros, basically? Anyway, as well as agape, whatever. We'll see what the meanings are of the cards. I'll pull four before we move on to the meanings and then to the tarot deck, just to see what you're wrapping up this year, Leo. What's going on in the next year? What are you saying goodbye to this year? What are you pulling in? Oh, those are too many. There's a lot coming, though. This is the first thing I'm hearing, that there's a lot coming in the coming year. Okay, we got all the cards. Perfect. Yeah, we have the womb and the threshold. Both really, look at these colors. As well as the cave. So some of you might be coming out of a cave. Some of you might be birthing something new. This is the first instinct I'm getting. We have seed too as the bottom deck energy. So a seed that you planted this year might be growing next year, but we'll see the meanings of the cards. I have this little guidebook here, so give me a second. Let me hold up this card while I read it for you. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as a transformation, but the true archetypal resonance of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the ending of another being, creature, or phase or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. It leaves a mark of ash upon our hearts, signifying we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and wisdom to share. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. When this card appears, it signifies an initiation into the underworld. I'm going to continue immediately with Agape because it's the card before Thanatos. What if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God, Goddess, or nature at the center? Leo. How would this change your approach? Such is the energy of Agape. It is alive when we are in awe and wonder, our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us and asks for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. You sense the earthly as the heavenly and vice versa, as above, so below. Like a healing, such an initiatory moment can appear in any form, and like a healing balm to the modern soul, its effects last a lifetime. The agape or agape, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day, consciously or unconsciously. What are you elevating? Where does the sacred ladder you climb ultimately lead to? So this is giving me, before I read any of the other cards, this is giving me hermit energy. We have the cave coming out. Look at their eyes. I didn't even see them. Jesus, that's kind of scary. As well as the womb. Look at the seed inside the womb, which is also the bottom deck energy of the cards I just pulled. And we have the threshold. You are at the threshold of understanding something. You are, Leo, you've went through a spiritual awakening this year is what I'm hearing. But let's read the rest of the cards before we move on to the tarot. The threshold. We cross thresholds continually, consciously and unconsciously. Doorways, gates, and entryways grace our path on a daily basis. When this card arises, it signifies the precipice that you stand upon is not your typical one. However, you have arrived at a threshold of initiation, again the initiative card, here to usher you into a new reality. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed. A new frontier calls. This is not easy work. Threshold initiation means a part of you will be lost in order to make space for what is next. A metaphorical death must occur. Some may not recognize you. You may struggle to recognize yourself. The ground seems to crumble as you free fall into your new reality. This is the liminal realm. One step, dear friend. Just take that one necessary step towards the future that calls you. This is what I was getting from the very beginning, but it feels like confirmation burp. It feels like you're more okay with this change in your life, with this change in your identity than you initially thought, because you were the one that planted this seed, and I'm hearing you've planted the seed a long time ago because we have the womb coming out here. The womb, everything has an origin story. The womb archetype asks us to contemplate the beginning beyond the beginning, the mother beyond the mother. In a world that often negates the power and necessity of feminine principles, this card returns us to the warmth, tenderness, and sacred intelligence from which we came. It is a card of receiving, not achieving, of accepting love from the mother of us all. She is the life-giving force that forgives and cherishes even the most wounded and despaired soul. No matter how lost you are, the womb awaits your return to help you heal and grow. This card is a call to keep things simple, to return and be reborn in the name of love. The womb is everywhere. It is beyond gender, beyond time. We are within it as it is within us. Very nice. I want to move on immediately to the cave that has come out here. It's the last card, also known as the dark, the portal, the interior. Oh, something just came to 555 on the timer, but something just came to mind and flew away immediately. But let's move on. Maybe it'll come back. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart, the hermit card. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where's your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend the fire. We have fireworks going on in the background. They just suddenly came on. So it's like you might have been caught up in your day-to-day life, Leo. You might have been really distracted by noise. You might have been distracted by the lights, by the public is what I'm hearing. And this year has been you going within because you know that there's a change coming. You know that the next year will bring some sort of, you are being initiated. You have gone through initiation this year, Leo. This is a really deep-seated transformation that goes back to childhood or even before that. I'm hearing generational curses being lifted, working on generational trauma or generational blessings and abundance as well, right? But I want to see what specifically this is about. Let's pull some tarot to see where you're going. It takes a lot of energy and time to go through these pocket archetypes cards because they're so deep. They're really deep. It's like, it's not just day-to-day stuff that they talk about. It's like the very foundation of things is being talked about here. So this has been a really pivotal year in your life is what I'm hearing, Leo. You went through a lot though. It was a lot. Going through this was a lot. That's why you went within, because it's just been too much. You might have kind of isolated a bit this year, Leo. You might have isolated a lot. Or some of you, even if you were outside a lot, you might have dissociated a lot. You were just trying to, yeah, exactly. You were like your subconscious was super active this year, Leo. It's like you were in preparation for something, and you were anxious a lot this year because you didn't really have any control over what's happening on the inside. That's what it feels like, at least. We have the Three of Cups coming out though, but you did have cause for celebration. You were really connected to your community is what I'm hearing. It's not just all anxiety this year. You're really grateful for the happy moments you did have, but you also know that you have to say goodbye to something for the next thing to come in the next year. And you are resting within. You know that you are manifesting something. This is the last card. The last steps, it might have been really stagnant in the beginning. It might have been really slow in the beginning. You might have had to learn something in a very slow and structured and stable manner to build a foundation that you can like work upon, like you can build more upon, build bigger pillars of success upon is what I'm hearing. And this was being done to you on purpose. You had to rest because you know, like subconsciously you had to rest. You know that something is coming in. You're manifesting something that you will have to deal with. You have to leave certain parts of you behind. You have to leave certain people, certain situations behind, Leo, for these manifestations to come in. And what I'm hearing, because I was seeing lights, I was seeing fireworks, I was seeing celebration. Some of you might be in the limelight next year, but in any case, even on a small level, you will be seen next year, Leo. This is your year of being seen is what I'm hearing. You're manifesting something that's going to change the rest of your life. So, wow, good job on the initiation. Wow, that's a lot.